Kansas City's breaking news leader. This is 41 Action News.
Kansas City police are taking a new approach to stop crime, and it involves more socializing.
And this morning, the search is on for a man accused of setting a house on fire.
The city of Olathe testing its water for lead and leaving more than 100 families there trying to make it by without using the tap water when the city says the results will be in. But first, some breaking news this morning at 4:29. A man is dead after he was hit by a semi-truck in Kansas City, Missouri this morning. I'm Lindsay Shively.
And I'm Richard Sharpin for Patrick Fazio. Now, the crime we're talking about happened around 2 a.m. on North Ambassador Drive near Zona Rosa and Town Center. The semi hit the man in the right lane. As of now, it's unclear why the man was in the road. The road is still shut down. As soon as we get more information, we'll relay it to you.
All right, let's send it over to Nicole Phillips for a check of our weather this morning.
Nicole, do we need our umbrella?
Yeah, you'll need your umbrella not because it's going to be a washout, but because we are going to see off and on chances of showers throughout this morning and throughout the day. And it's all because of this little disturbance here that we have up towards our north. If we zoom in closer, we are seeing showers wrapping around counterclockwise here, making their way into portions of northeast Kansas, northwest Missouri. Also, towards our south here, we're seeing some of those showers as well. If we switch over to our weather track radar, light to even moderate rain right around the southern portions of the viewing area. Now here in Kansas City, American Century Investments Live Sky View as we look towards Kauffman Stadium. It's dry. We're sitting under partly cloudy skies. We are going to have that chance of off and on showers today. So once again, make sure you grab that umbrella. 50 at KCI, 49 in Lawrence, 48 in Maryville, 55 in Chillicothe. So it's slightly cooler this morning, a little bit chilly. We are going to keep that with us. A chance of showers this morning and even as we head towards the afternoon. But by the time you go home this evening, things are going to start to clear up. We'll be partly cloudy, 67 degrees. Those clouds are going to start to decrease as well, and that's going to set us up for a fantastic way to end the week. So coming up in about 10 minutes, I will have your weekend forecast. Richard?
Nicole, thank you. Kansas City police have a new strategy to try and keep you safe.
Yeah, most violent crimes in the city happen on the east side, and now the department is adding a new focus that aims to make those neighborhoods safer. It's called hotspot policing, which means focusing on areas where crime is happening often. But in this case, officers from East Patrol are also going where it's quiet to build better relationships with the neighbors who don't know them.
It's about the relationships and a much broader view of it all. So we're trying to accomplish each of those things.
It's not just we want to arrest someone. We want to, solve this crime. They want to build a relationship so people can feel safer.
Between 8 and 12 officers from East Patrol are assigned hotspot policing each day. In their first 3 weeks, they've checked on 150 homes, 120 businesses, and attended 10 community events. This morning, police are looking for a man who set a house on fire. This happened last night along West 75th Street in Overland Park. Firefighters were able to quickly put out the flames, but there was some damage.
And the man accused of holding up Raymore Bank will now be taken to court on federal charges. You may remember the man stole a van from a parking lot, then drove across the street to rob the United Missouri Bank. Prosecutors say 52-year-old Charles Jones got away with more than $1,300. Jones ended up turning himself in. 2 men are now charged in a robbery that led police on a chase. Police say Brandon Webster and Deontay Dickens were armed when they held up a gas station at 71 Highway in Grandview. They then led police officers on a high-speed chase before crashing into a light pole.
2 K-State students now suing the university, claiming campus police failed to investigate reports of rape. In separate lawsuits, the women say they were sexually assaulted at off-campus fraternity parties. The women say the school never investigated. Now, we talked to attorneys for both of the students who say the school failed to provide a safe learning environment.
When a college fails to investigate and you're putting her back on campus, the fear that one has every day of running into their assailant, are they going to be sitting next to the person that took advantage of them, that violated them in the most disgusting manner?
Now, we did some digging here. The Department of Education says colleges should investigate claims even if they are off campus, if they are, quote, in the context of an education program or activity. It's unclear whether that definition would include a fraternity house. Imagine going through your morning routine today, but not being able to use tap water, only bottled water.
That's exactly what more than 100 families in Olathe have to do right now. The city of Olathe went door to door collecting water samples last night to be tested for lead. The city crews say the water could be contaminated with it. So for now, more families are in the area are trying to make it through without tap water.
Eating, drinking, taking the shower is a pain, trying to not get it in your eyes.
When I make coffee in the morning, I make one 12-cup pot and one 10-cup pot, so that's several bottles of water.
Bottles of water are being delivered to people affected on a daily basis. City leaders say they hope to get the tap water results back in the next 5 days.
It's not just Olathe that has problems with lead in its water. In an Associated Press investigation, they found high levels in 18 water systems across Kansas. You can see most of them are smaller or rural towns. Also, in many cases, it's a small part of the town, not the entire city. When the Associated Press reached out to the cities, some said the lead came from lead pipes or lead sources in homes, not from the distribution system, which uses plastic pipes. Others say they've worked to correct the problem. And of course, it's a nationwide problem. Since January of 2013, more than 1,400 water systems violated federal lead standards. That impacts more than 3.7 million Americans.
Doctors say the effects of lead can be devastating. Children are at risk of lower IQ, behavior problems, anemia, intestinal issues.
Are generally irreversible. Even if we find the lead source, get it out of them, get it away from them so that their blood levels drop, the nervous system really doesn't recover from that insult. It's most likely a permanent effect.
Lead poisoning can be hard to detect, and that's because symptoms may not appear until there are high levels actually already in the blood. The symptoms are also different in children and adults. In children, symptoms can include developmental delays, learning difficulties, fatigue and vomiting. In adults, it can include high blood pressure, joint and muscle pain, headaches, and mood disorders. To find out the quality of your water, you can buy water testing kits at local hardware stores. You can also find your community's water quality report online. We have a link to that on our website, kshb.com.
3 people have been charged in the Flint water crisis, but Michigan's Attorney General promises his investigation is not over.
These charges are only the beginning, and there'll be more to come. That I can guarantee you.
The charges against 2 of the state environmental officials and a city employee include misconduct and tampering with evidence. Residents have not had clean water for 2 years. That's when the city began using the Flint River for its supply. Months later, tests showed elevated levels of lead.
Now to an update on the murder of a father in a Kansas City parking lot. Crime Stoppers has now increased the reward in the case by $2,000 and now sits at $4,000. Somebody shot and killed Jacob Brantner while his daughter was in the car April 3rd near 63rd and Blue Ridge while he tried to sell a gun. The suspect drove a vehicle similar to this one right there, a metallic blue Ford 500 with a sunroof. The man accused of killing 4 people in KCK, then another in Montgomery County, Missouri, now faces the death penalty. Prosecutors in Missouri said they plan to seek capital punishment for Pablo Serrano. Investigators say Serrano killed 5 people last month. He's an illegal immigrant who had previously been deported.
Mizzou might lose less money than previously expected in next year's budget. Administrators originally feared cuts of $7 to $6 million, but they now may lose only about $4 million. The budget writers also agreed to a 4% increase in core funding. And former Mizzou football star Michael Sam is trying to tackle a new issue, Missouri's Religious Freedom Bill. The first openly gay player drafted in the NFL spoke against the bill in Jefferson City yesterday. It would allow businesses to refuse service for same-sex weddings. Sam says it's at its core a measure unfair.
This so-called religious liberty bill is just another way to undermine the dignity of the LGBT people and their families.
The number of Kansas City businesses against the bill is growing. The KC Chamber says it has jumped to 287. The list includes Burns & McDowell, Children's Mercy Hospital, as well as several popular restaurants and hotels. If passed by the State House, voters will have the final say.
Missouri is ditching Common Core and applying a new curriculum at schools.
We'll tell you what that new curriculum emphasizes in just a minute.
Well, today we have just a slight chance of a few showers. I'll tell you what that means for the Royals game coming up.
Security and privacy, two of the reasons one Johnson County town is now restricting drones. A new Mission Hills ordinance says drone pilots can only use the unmanned devices over their own property unless they have permission. The measure also restricts drones to flying 400 feet or below.
Teachers in Missouri are busy putting a new curriculum into action. The state is eliminating Common Core. It was highly criticized for being complicated and difficult to understand. Major changes include more emphasis on research and language arts. One teacher says the new standards are designed to be more of a roadmap instead of a strict guide.
Regardless of the wording of standards, we still want students to be able to graduate from an English course and be able to read, write, and think well, and be able to learn some speaking and listening skills.
Students are expected to meet the new standards next school year. They won't be tested on them until 2018.
A father-son project turns, well, a little buzzworthy.
They ran into a major bee problem. Or inside the house, they found more than 500,000 bees. That's a heck of a construction project.
Soft and sweet, I'll be your strong and steady. You be my glass of wine, I'll be your shot of whiskey. You be my sunny day, I'll be your...
The presidential race now turns to 5 states voting next week. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Connecticut, and Rhode Island all hold primaries on Tuesday.
On the Republican side, experts say these races favor front-runner Donald Trump. After Tuesday's big win in New York, the billionaire leads the delegate race by almost 300 delegates over Senator Ted Cruz.
And despite that big deficit, Ted Cruz not giving up hope. Campaigning in Pennsylvania, the Texas senator said one thing is clear about this race. It's headed to a contested convention.
We're going to arrive in Cleveland with me having a ton of delegates and with Donald having a ton of delegates. And at that point, it is going to be a battle to see who can earn the support of a majority of the delegates elected by the people.
At least one of the states voting next week could give Trump another big win.
So a new poll shows the billionaire with a 20-point lead in Connecticut. Kasich is in second with 28% support. Cruz in third, 9 points back from Kasich.
Campaigning in Indiana today, Trump moved on from attacking his Republican rivals. He took aim at the Democratic frontrunner, Hillary Clinton.
I love running against crooked Hillary. I love that. I mean, so much better. Bernie wouldn't be as much fun.
Indiana holds its primary May 3rd.
On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders took the day off yesterday from major campaign events. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton held a discussion on gun violence in Philadelphia. She also held a rally to discuss her plans to raise incomes for families.
So as for the delegate race, right now, Hillary Clinton leads Bernie Sanders by 700 delegates.
This includes both pledged and super delegates. A candidate needs 2,383 to win the nomination. Check in with Nicole.
Thank you, Richard. This morning I'm tracking just a small disturbance off towards our north and even off towards our south here, giving us a chance of showers this morning, and we're going to keep that chance off and on. So let's zoom in closer here as we do look at northwest Missouri, right around the Rockport area, just towards the west of Maryville. A light shower there. Also off towards the northwest of Hiawatha, some light showers. As we go down towards the South Pleasanton here, we do have some light to even moderate rain. Also some showers up towards Harrisonville. This is going to push off towards the east, towards Butler. So if you do live in Pleasanton or Butler, you're heading out in the next 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to need your umbrellas. Kansas City Airport here, partly cloudy skies this morning. Temperature sitting right around 50 degrees with a west wind around 6 miles per hour. Well, it's been nice that we've had low pollen count over the last couple of days, but that's all going to change today. Our tree pollen is going to be on the high side with mold being moderate, so you're going to want to grab those tissues, also that Benadryl. If you suffer from allergies, you're going to suffer today. We do have a chance of a few showers heading into this morning, and then afternoon they'll become spotty in nature. By Friday morning at 6:30, check this out here, partly cloudy skies. Your morning rush hour should be fine, and it's actually going to be nice heading into the rest of the afternoon and throughout the day. We'll continue to see partly cloudy skies. Going into the evening hours, though, clearing up, and that's going to set us up for a great weekend forecast. Heading to the game tonight, 67 degrees, west winds 5 to 12 miles per hour. It is going to feel a little bit cooler, but the good news is that we're going to stay dry, and we'll even see some sun. And as you head home, 60 degrees, also still staying dry. Great forecast here. Let's go ahead and break this down. So if you've got Royals tickets over the next couple of days, you're in luck because you're going to see a lot of sun. You're also going to see those warm temperatures. 71 starting on on Friday. Then by Saturday, 77 degrees, so really getting up there. Now on Sunday, 80. And, you know, for this time of the year, that's kind of hot. But we do add in a chance of showers and storms, cooling down by Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we will continue with that chance of showers and storms. So we do have another chance to get much needed rainfall. And like I said, with that allergy forecast, it's been pleasant to not have to deal with allergies. So another chance for allergy sufferers to kind of relax.
Relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Nicole, thank you.
Nicole. Tonight, the Royals hope to bounce back after last night's loss against the Detroit Tigers.
The boys in blue were almost able to pull out a win, but not quite. In the bottom of the ninth, they were down 3 by both Alex Gordon and Salvi hitting home runs. Wasn't quite enough. The Royals lost to the visiting Tigers 3-2, but it was a dominant night for pitching at the K. People are calling it the pitchers duel. Both teams' pitchers, Jordan Zimmerman and Ian Kennedy, were the talk of the night.
They were great, both of them. Zimmerman, you know, threw the ball really well, as did Kennedy. You know, Kennedy, for me, the one pitch, he elevated a curveball to Kinsler, but besides that, I mean, he was efficient with his pitches, you know, banging them for strikes, good curveball. Both pitchers, I figured coming in that this was going to be a pitcher's duel, and it ended up being one.
So baseball making a comeback in Kansas City's urban core.
The city broke ground on a youth baseball academy in the 18th and Vine district. Royals Hall of Famer George Brett and current Royals Chris Young and Alex Gordon were there for the ceremony.
This is what it's all about. You see the young kids come out here and be a part of this, and I'm glad they came, because you kind of forget it's for them.
The $14 million project was paid for with a mix of public and private funds and will feature 4 state-of-the-art baseball and softball fields with the goal of getting more inner-city kids playing this sport again. The fields should be finished by November.
The $20 bill will soon get a new look. Harriet Tubman will replace Andrew Jackson on the front of the bill, but the Treasury is not completely removing the former president. His image will now appear on the back. The new design should be ready by 2020.
Renovating a fixer-upper can have its problems, and a father and son in Indiana know this firsthand.
Oh boy, the house the two were working on ended up having more than 500,000 bees inside. The two noticed several bees following them around the house, so they called a beekeeper to check things out. And when the keeper removed a section of siding, there was a giant hive between the walls. There were so many bees, they said they could hear the buzzing through the wall.
You can feel the heat coming off of the bees because of all the wing beats, and it's really incredible. It sounds like a refrigerator if you get your head up close enough to it.
Wow, it took the beekeeper more than 6 hours to sweep up most of the bees and move them to repopulate another hive out in the country.
Yikes.
Fascinating. Well, small, medium, and large, usually the most common sizes for things.
Yeah, soon you might be able to choose one of those options for the Big Mac. The new sizes McDonald's is testing out. McDonald's Big Mac might be making a size adjustment. The fast food giant is testing a bigger version of the Big Mac and a smaller one too. They're dubbed the Grand Mac and the Mac Jr. The variations are being tested in Ohio and Texas. If successful, McDonald's could roll out the new size options nationwide. McDonald's says going to hold back on dreaming about the all-you-can-eat fries. This comes days after St. Joseph McDonald's operator said it would offer bottomless fries for a limited time as part of a renovation. There were reports that the restaurants nationwide might also later offer free fries, but McDonald's spokesman says there aren't any plans for that. And if you don't feel like making lunch for work today, you can get a sandwich for $1 at Jimmy John's. Hello. Today, Customer Appreciation Day for the chain. To celebrate, Jimmy John's is offering the selection of subs for just $1 each. The offer is good only until 3 this afternoon, and only at a selection of Subways are available.
$1, huh? Wow. A popular best-selling book about to become a movie, and everybody now has their first look at it.
The third Sherlock Holmes movie might be on its way. David Daniel has that and more in the Hollywood Minute.
I saw her from the train.
The Girl on the Train is the talk of the web. The first trailer is out for the movie based on the best-selling novel. Emily Blunt stars in the psychological thriller as a woman who finds herself enmeshed in a murder mystery. The film is due in theaters in October. These proud parents have shared their first baby picture. John Legend, real name John Stevens, posted this photo on Instagram of Luna Simon Stevens. Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen, gave birth to the little girl last Thursday. Luna is the first child for the model/TV personality and the 10-time Grammy winner who tied the knot in 2013.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. Well, it's been a long day.
And it's understandable that Robert Downey Jr. is a bit tired after filming Captain America: Civil War, but he's not letting that stop him from returning to his other big franchise. Downey tells Shortlist.com after a 5-year gap, he and director Guy Ritchie are set to start work on a third Sherlock Holmes before the end of the year. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Excited. I really like those Sherlock Holmes movies. Wow.
Me too.
Have you ever wanted to eat and look like a celebrity?
Well, now you can eat like Gwyneth Paltrow since she released her new cookbook, but it'll cost you. We'll tell you exactly how much coming up at 5, but here's a hint. It's more than $20 a meal.
What? Better be a short cookbook. It seems like we report on a lot of cyber attacks, but the victims usually aren't farmers. Cyber attacks are now a real threat on the agricultural industry. Coming up on 41 Action News at 5, we'll tell you what the president of the Internet Security Alliance is saying about why the problem stems from farmers not being as prepared as most people.
I wanna jam it with you.